Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. Today I'm at Holmes Honda here in Shreveport, Louisiana, and this is the fully redesigned, all new 2023 Honda CR-V. This is the hybrid sport trim level. It's an all-wheel drive model featuring an exterior color of crystal black with a black interior. There we go, got through without a tongue twist that time, right? And we're going to try to answer the question, is it worth the sticker price of $35,195? There are a lot of changes here, including the size. How much of a difference is there in that respect? Well, the wheelbase, which is going to be measured from the center of one tire to the center of the other, for those who think that isn't true, because I've had people say that in the comment section. That's what a search engine is for. Go correct yourself there if you don't believe that that is what wheelbase is. It increases by 1.6 inches. The bumper-to-bumper length is going to increase. That's overall length, obviously, of the vehicle by 2.7 inches. And there is a 0.4 inch increase in width. Obviously, well, you're probably not going to be able to see that unless we parked them nose to nose with a 22. The front grille, everything here fully redesigned. The front grille is lower, a little bit wider. It's going to give it a sleeker look. Everything a little more squared off as far as the body goes, especially on the front end. And we're going to have LED daytime running lights, LED headlights, LED basically everywhere you look on the vehicle. And down here on the front bumper, kind of hard to see all the way through from this particular angle, but these are corner air vents or air curtains that help to improve gas mileage. Here is where they actually come out. The air actually comes out right here as far as that goes. And one thing that I have to give kudos to Honda on, although I'm surprised that no other Honda model currently has this feature, and that is the struts to help open and keep the hood up. I like that. I don't have to go looking for any kind of a prop rod to put in place. And obviously here under the hood, the hybrid powertrain. It's a combination of the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and 2 electric motors. That's what produces a total of 204 horsepower and 247 pounds-feet of torque, made it to an eCVT, but don't knock it till you try it. It's actually better than you think, more well-behaved, we'll say. Here's the big advantage to going hybrid. You don't have to worry about whether or not there is enough charge capacity. While the vehicle can run on electric, if there's an issue there or the charge capacity gets too low, the gas engine's going to kick on and you can still drive down the road. As long as you have gas in the gas tank, you're in good shape. That's always a good thing. Much better, much more efficient, a lot more reliable than full EV. Now let's talk about MPGs on this all-wheel drive model. 40 city, 34 highway, 37 combined, and 2.7 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. Now you might wonder about these flip-flop numbers here, as far as typically you have the better MPGs on the highway than you do in the city. Well, that's because you're going to use the hybrid end of things more in city driving than you are on the highway. You'll use the gas engine there. 235 on the width with the tires, so a good bit of width on the, or a good bit of tread on the ground. That's a good thing. And the 60 series sidewall wrapped around the 18-inch gloss black wheels. A very nice look, at least in my personal opinion. Tell me what you think about that. And obviously we have the fully redesigned side view mirrors. They do have the body color mirror cap, turn signal indicator built in. They are power adjustable and they are indeed heated. We also have the new remote for 2023. What do you think about that? Do you like it? Does it matter? Do you think it looks better? Do you like the former remote? It does have remote start. I think that's more important to all of you than just about anything else. It is a proximity key, by the way. And if you like a little bit of chrome, well, we do have a little bit of chrome surround on the windows here. In fact, this CR-V is so hot, the fire department has now decided to head our way. I apologize for the background noise. And if you like your roof rails, guess what? You have those here as well. The body-colored shark fin antenna and the tailgate spoiler is what Honda calls this, or the rear roof spoiler is what I usually call it, or the roof spoiler. I would love to have seen Honda tuck the rear window wiper away right up in here, because there is room for that. If anybody pulls up behind you, they don't have to question whether or not it's all-wheel drive. This model can tow up to 1,000 pounds, and you can see the difference on the LED taillights back here. They do actually look a little different compared to what we saw with the previous generation. Maybe not a lot, but they do look somewhat different. And on this particular trim level, as you saw, this is not a power tailgate, but it is dampened, so that's always a good thing as far as that goes. We make it easy to open and close. And we're looking at 36.6 cubic feet up to 76.5 cubic feet because of the fact that, well, this floor is fixed back here. If this was the non-hybrid version of the CR-V, it would actually expand to 39.3 cubic feet because you can actually change the positioning of this rear floor. You do have the cargo lighting back here, quite a bit of light coming into the rear area back here, and the hangers, if you want to use those. The one knock that I know is here for a lot of people is the fact that there is no spare tire. So, well, depending on your situation, that may or may not be a deterrent. I just have to report the facts because, well, that's what it is. You can obviously lower the rear seats if you want to maximize cargo capacity. And if somebody wants to maximize comfort back here in the rear seating area, guess what? They can recline the seats, seat backs, I should say. As you can see right there, the fold-down armrest is present with the cup holders built in. I like the positioning of the cup holders because you can still use this area of real estate on the armrest as an armrest when there are cups in there or bottles or whatever the case is. What about the door bin size? Well, there you go. You can see what is there as far as that goes. A reasonable amount of space, and we're going to have the dual air conditioning vents and 2 USB ports. Dual air conditioning vents are a good thing, but there should be 3 USB ports because you have seating for 3 back here. Never quite understood why we don't see that on more vehicles. No panoramic sunroof here, just the conventional size. I don't know if that matters to most people, in my personal opinion, because eventually, no matter what happens, if you keep a vehicle long enough with a sunroof, the gasket is going to wear out and it's going to begin to leak to some degree. I would personally rather have no sunroof. And taking a look in through the passenger side front door, we're going to have a very similar look to what we had in the rear. A little bit more door bin space right here. Now, you won't find a power passenger seat here. You will find a power driver seat, but the passenger seat is fully adjustable. Even though it is manually adjustable, it is also heated, as is the driver's seat. You can see the similar look to the Honda Civic, 11th generation Civic that we have here. And I'm going to go ahead and take that off just so it's easier to show you that without the nuisance of the film being on there. And a nice size glove box, quite a bit of space here as far as that goes. And then we're going to also have the dual USB ports that are a little more appropriate here, even though you have 2 different sizes there. A 12-volt power outlet. And if you had wireless charging, it would be right here. Now, one thing I think, unlike the fact that the tire repair kit is not popular, one thing that I think will be, just based on what a lot of you share in the comments section regularly on these videos, you're going to prefer this shifter over the push button shifter. Although you do have some push button functionality here with your hill start assist and all that stuff. You do have your drive mode selector, power parking brake, brake hold mode. There are your cup holders and the nice size lid for the center console that doubles as an armrest. How much space do we have down in there? Well, we have that much. I don't know how much that actually is. I've never measured it before, but you can see by the size of my hand that there is a reasonable amount of space there. The sunglass holder is here without the conversation mirror. Would you like to have a conversation mirror? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments section. And you'll control the tilt and sliding function of the sunroof right there with that button. And if I can open this up, I will show you the vanity mirror. Boy, I tell you what, the wind is wreaking havoc on my hair. And got the light right there, as well as being able to slide the sun visor back. You can see how far back that goes. There is a oh crap handle, grab handle right here at every corner of the vehicle on all 4 doors. That way, when the driver decides to exercise that almighty 204 horsepower and somebody says, oh crap, we're going so fast, they can reach up and grab the oh crap handle. And here on the driver's side door, pretty much the same look that we saw on the passenger side, but you will have obviously a few more buttons and switches and functionality. All that stuff is going to be here. You do have the ability to turn off traction control if you want to, and the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. You drop that lever to adjust the steering wheel position. And like I said, you have a fully adjustable power driver's seat. So we'll hop inside and we will listen. And just let you listen and see the graphics that come up on the screen. Yep, there's a little Hybrid logo that comes up only on one side. That's kind of interesting, but it is what it is. So here's what we have as far as the look goes with the dashboard. You can pretty much see everything that is there. And if your kids don't have their seat belts on, well, the CRV is going to tell on them. Well, we're going to go right here. You can see what is going on with the vehicle with the power indicator right there on the left-hand side. And one thing I do want to do, I showed you where the mode selector is, the drive mode selector. So let's go through exactly what. Normal is the first mode, and we're going to go down to Econ. We'll go to Snow. That's the end right there, but that's not the last mode. If you go all the way up, you can go above normal and go to Sport mode. We don't have shifter paddles, even though that's what it looks like. Those are actually going to adjust the regenerative braking on the vehicle. That uses kinetic energy to help keep the battery charged for this vehicle with your dual electric motors. So in case you were curious, well, now you're not curious because you know. Here is the multitasker that some people just use in a singular way. They use it to turn the lights on and off on the exterior of the vehicle. What's the other way to use it? Well, you can use it to turn on the blinkers on the outside of the vehicle and let people know what you're doing around you. Imagine that, being kind and courteous to drivers and on the road around you. Yeah, crazy, isn't it, that some people actually do that, believe it or not. And then we have something I can't be sarcastic about, the control for the front and rear window wipers. That is right there. And this is the 7-inch touch screen right here. That flickering effect, the only way you're going to get that is by looking through the lens of a GoPro. That is a common problem with GoPros for whatever reason, depending on lighting. I have never been able to figure out how to fix that. But you can see what all is here. A very simple system to use. I'm not pairing a phone at the moment, but you can see what is here. A pretty simple system to use, and then you can control the volume and change between stations depending on what you want to do right there. Dual zone climate control is found here, and like I said, you have heated seats for the driver and the passenger, something we're not going to need here in Northwest Louisiana for the foreseeable future. So overall, that's pretty much what you have here as far as the interior goes. Let me do one more thing I do want to show you right here, just so you can see it. And you can even hear the noise on the outside of the vehicle to let people know that you're driving or in reverse in this particular case. But you do have the multi-view rear view camera, just so you can see what is here on this particular trim level. Definitely does a good job, nice and clear and responsive to the touch of my finger. But let's get out on the road. We'll do a road noise test. Even though we're not going to use a decibel meter, we're going to use a real life road noise test and just let you listen, because ultimately that dB, decibel meter, if I can get that out of my mouth, the decibel meter is not really going to be reliable. Why? Because it's not driving the vehicle. You are. Okay, I promised you a road noise test, so we're going to get up here just a little bit to where the speed limit goes from 55, as you can see on the speed limit sign right there. I think you were able to see that, but it's going to go to 65 miles per hour. And we're going to stay here in the right-hand lane because it's the worst of the two. And we're going to give you a good road noise test starting right now. I'll give you a few seconds just to listen. Now, depending on who you are, well, you might say that's a lot of road noise. The wind noise is actually quite minimal. I'm really impressed with that. So, depending on who you are, you might think the road noise is pretty bad, but you have to keep in mind we're really in somewhat of a worst case scenario here in a few different ways. Not only with the fact that this road is terrible, but also with the fact that it's basically dead quiet in here, and I have it that way for your sake so that the audio is as good as possible for the test drive. So if you were driving down the road in a real life situation, kind of like this road, basically, something like this, and you had someone that you were talking to hands-free on your phone, yes, be safe, somebody in the passenger seat or back seat you were talking to, whatever the case is, the radio was on, there's a lot of different things that could happen that would really help to reduce what you're hearing as far as the road noise goes, distractions, different things like that that could take your attention off of that. It's ultimately not bad. The thing I really like about this CR-V is that it's very nimble, it's very maneuverable, it's very easy to drive and get around no matter where you are. If you live in a really big city area, congested heavily with traffic, well, it's definitely going to do a good job of maneuvering through that compared to, say, a full-size SUV or even a mid-size SUV such as the Honda Pilot that's a little larger than this model is, than this CR-V. So there's a lot of advantages where that's concerned. The leather-wrapped steering wheel is nice and comfortable, and so is the seating. The ride quality with the redesigned rear suspension, definitely good. It wasn't bad before, but the ride quality is even better now than it was in the past. And the technology here is easy to learn and easy to use for you people who are maybe stepping into a vehicle like this for the first time and have never had this kind of technology before and you're maybe a little scared of it. Well, that's understandable, but I'll tell you what, Honda has some of the easiest technology in the entire industry to learn. So you really don't have anything to concern yourself where that is concerned. A very enjoyable vehicle to drive, that's for sure. Some people I know are going to say, well, it has cloth seating, that's outdated. Yeah, I realize it does seem, for 2023 cloth seating, maybe does seem a bit outdated. Whether or not that is really the case, well, I can't say. But you do have options, other trim levels you can consider, higher trim levels you can consider here for the CR-V. You can pretty much go any direction you want to with all of that, depending on what you want to pay. And I'll even give you a quick little demonstration of the windshield wipers right there, because we're getting just a slight bit of a mist. But overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. It's very versatile in a multitude of ways. It gets the job done. You want to save money on gas? Well, it's going to do that. Just enjoyable to drive, plenty of cargo capacity. The only thing that I do wish Honda did add here, I think you find a car maker that has a hybrid version of their vehicle and they find room for a spare tire, that's going to put them ahead of the competition. So tell me what you think down in the comments. Is this 2023 Honda CR-V Sport Hybrid all-wheel drive worth the sticker price of $35,195? Tell me what your answer is and tell me why you answered the way that you did. If you're interested in buying this exact model, check out the link down in the description of the video. And if you come into Holmes Honda, make sure to tell whoever you talk to that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you their way. Got to say a special thanks to my friends here at the dealership for loaning me this CR-V for the day. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.